to transition into a space of worship, and if you would like to join us in singing, we're going to start with hymn number 1012, When I Am Frightened, found in the Teal Hymnal. Number 169 in the gray hymnal, We Shall Overcome.
We shall
For our final prelude, that's the word. For our final prelude, we are going to perform "We Shall Be Known." This is a Ma Muse song. It's fairly simple, so once you get the hang of it, you're welcome to join in singing with us.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time to lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Welcome, all, to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Grand Traverse. I am Susan Smith, the coordinator of this service and a member of the Sunday Services Committee. We are glad to have you with us, whether in person or streaming from home. We are especially glad to have Fred Shapansky and friends from St. Francis with us today. As you can tell, all of you are joyfully and warmly welcomed. Thank you for being here. Today, I'm extremely nervous, anxious even, and it has nothing to do with you, my dear friends. You may be feeling nervous too. Just 2 days from now, we will be facing the election of our life. And it is hard to imagine how it can be nick and nick, as they say in horse racing. But this is no horse race, dear ones. More than a wager is at stake. Thankfully, today, Reverend Alex is going to tell us how to defy gravity and fascism. Just a little load on his shoulders. I probably need to know both because I may need to rise above it all, so defying gravity would be a helpful skill. And if I ever face fascism, I will also need to defy that. So this is all the signs of being a great and useful sermon today. My dear friends, in the words of James V. LeBlake, I share the following with you. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. At the beginning of our order of service, you will notice our land acknowledgement, a request to silence electronic devices, and a notice about the book at the front of our sanctuary in which you can record your joys and concerns and or light a commemorative candle as you prefer. Joni Jackson from our congregational care team will read what you choose to share a little later in the service. Here at the UUCGT, we are a pluralistic congregation, which means not only that we are different from one another in many ways, but that we are interested in knowing and understanding and feeling in our hearts the uniqueness of each individual. And in seeking to know you better and to see the world through your eyes as well as our own, we are enriched as individuals and as a community. Accordingly, we enthusiastically embrace your differences and welcome you just as you are to our beloved community. We would like to ask our many guests today to stand to introduce themselves if they are willing and able. There will be few left seated, you'll notice. Someone will bring you a microphone which will allow even those streaming from home to hear your introduction. However, please feel free to remain seated and silent if you prefer.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Schneider, and I am a member of the Catholic Church, and I'm here to support some poor decisions, really poor decisions.
Welcome, Kathleen.
My name is Jamie Bolak, invited by my neighbor Christine, and also support Mr. Fred, and my first time here, so thank you.
Welcome, Jamie and Christine.
Thanks. I'm Kim Garlington. I'm from the Catholic Church in support of Fred, and my first time here. Thanks for welcoming me.
Welcome, Kim.
I'm Nancy Canavera from Charleston, South Carolina, but I'm here to support Fred because I'm visiting my sister from St. Francis. Thank you, Fred, for all you did.
Welcome, Nancy.
I'm Esther Mack. I'm from St. Francis Church, and I too am here to support Fred.
Welcome, Esther.
My name is Joanne Johnson, and I'm from St. Francis, and I'm here to support Mr. Fred.
Welcome.
I'm Carol Morris, and I'm here to support Fred.
Welcome, Carol.
I'm Will Fagan. I've sung with Fred at St. Francis for 20 years. And You can tell I get a little bit emotional about this, but I've never met a kinder, sweeter person than Fred. And my wife, Julie.
Welcome, Fred.
Hi, I'm Bethany Cliff. I'm also from St. Francis, here to support Fred. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.
My name's Liz. I used to be a St. Francis member, but I am no longer.
Welcome,
And I'm here to
Liz.
support my dear friend, Fred.
I'm Gladys McGuire, also from St. Francis, and we're here to support Fred.
Welcome, Gladys.
I'm Sandy Getz. I'm here from St. Francis, but no more at St. Francis, period. I'm done. I'm here to support the kindest individual, the most generous and feeling person that I've ever met, who does so many things for the community, and this was a gross, terrible thing that was done to him. We love him, and I'll follow him anywhere.
Welcome and thank you.
Ann and Mark Odell from St. Francis, and we're here for you, Fred.
Kathy Bussell. I'm previous St. Francis, and I'm here to support Fred too. This is my first time here too.
Welcome.
I'm Fred's sister, Kathy, from Bay City, Michigan, and I'm
Wow.
here to support my brother.
After 32 years, I can proudly say I am Fred's husband.
I'm Sherry Floyder, and I'm here to support Fred. I'm Bridget Beckwith. Fred has had more effect on every baptism, wedding, funeral, Sunday, etc., on my family's life than any priest ever has. And I'm ashamed to say that I'm from St. Francis. But I'm so grateful for you welcoming everybody, even us from St. Francis.
Diana Shumsky. I am not with St. Francis anymore, and I have been in the choir for 33 years. So I thank you, Fred, for all the wonderful songs you have introduced to all of us. I love them all, and I love you, and so does my family. Thank you.
Welcome, Diana.
I'm Sherry Koenig, and I am from St. Francis, and I'm not sure just where I'm going from here, but I want to thank you all for welcoming us so much. We just feel the love in our hearts that you've given us, and I will always love Fred. He's just a precious person in my life.
Welcome, Sherry.
My name is Arlene Forrester, and I joined St. Francis because of the music. My husband was a piano player like Fred, and music is just a big part of our lives. And once he died, I discovered that joining the choir gave me a family, because I have no family members up here, but wonderful people, wonderful Fred, wonderful music. I will always follow him.
Welcome.
My name is Judy Rhodes. I go to the Unitarian Church in Philadelphia, and I live there half the year, and I live in Frankfurt half the year. And I hope that I can meet you after the service, because obviously you're a very important person, and choir has always been an important part of my life.
Welcome, Judy.
My name is Marty Mader, and I joined St. Francis 25 years ago, but could not get into the choir until I quit my job that took too much time. I mean, took the time that was rehearsal time. And so as soon as I retired, I joined the choir and have found a family in addition to the talent that I can't imagine the Lord gave Fred.
Welcome.
My name is Renee Hansen, and I'm here with my twin sister, Rochelle. And we honestly aren't churchgoers, but I read the story about Fred, and we are here to wholeheartedly support Fred and Bill. And both of us are sick with worry about the election, and I wanted to be in a room full of love.
Welcome.
Good morning. My name is David Clinton, and I'm previously from St. Francis. I was in the choir, and at one point in time, Fred invited me to join the choir, which was a shock to me. I didn't know I could sing. I still doubt that, but by doing so, he changed my entire life. My entire life. He opened up doors and avenues to do many things that show our love and respect for people. Fred is a dear, sweet, loving, caring man who is making this world a better place. And I just love Fred, and we will always be together. Somehow. We will. So I love you, Fred. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Bob Holden. I have been singing with Fred in the choir for 30 years. I am now formerly from St. Francis. That was just incredibly cruel, what happened to him over there. Fred has been an essential part of my faith life for 30 years, and I hope to keep singing with him someplace.
Welcome, Bob.
Robert DeGabriel, formerly of St. Francis. I've been in choirs since 4th grade in 1963. I've choirs everywhere I've sung, and as you said, being part of the choir keeps me involved and aware of what's happening in the church. It's, you know, this is the faith life. I was a little altar boy back in 1963, so it's been my entire life, and Fred has put together magnificent people in the choir. They're all amazing, amazing people, but also musicians and vocalists, and now we're the Friends of Fred choir.
Good morning, I'm Deb Quinn. My friend Mary and I have played the harp with Fred for different services, Advent and Easter. And it's been a privilege to play music with you, Fred. And wow, doesn't the universe have a way of shaking things up? I mean, look at you, Fred. This has deeply affected your lives. And congratulations, by the way, both of you. But look at all the other lives that you've touched because of this. We're here for you. We love you.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Ludka. I'm here with my mom, Loretta. And Fred is the most talented and kind person that's been part of our family for over 30 years. We love Fred. The last time we ran into Fred, just about a week ago, was up at Munson Hospital. He was visiting an elderly patient there. We just love Fred, and we love the UU Church here, and it's a beautiful place, and thank you for being so welcoming.
Good morning, my name is Betty Plow. I'm an 81-year member at St. Francis. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do, but I would follow Fred wherever he went. He's a great guy.
It looks like we got introduced to everybody, although I'm not really quite sure. Thank you for those wonderful testimonials that help us know Fred, even those of us who had never previously met him. So thank you so much for helping us to know him. For our social hour following services, we have designated yellow mugs for our guests. Now, I made a special trip to the kitchen to tell them to get every yellow mug that we own out on the table. Holding a yellow mug will allow us to find you, to welcome you personally to our beloved community. At this time, I request that we turn our attention to centering music performed by Chelsea Bentley and Mr. Fred Shapansky.
As tall as whoever was last at this mic. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm going to try to get through this because that was really emotional, but thank you all for being here. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love, I guess I've lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I'd sooner buy defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. Unlimited, my future is unlimited, and I've just had a vision almost like a prophecy. I know it sounds truly crazy, and true, the vision's hazy, but I swear someday I'll be up in the sky, defying gravity, flying so high, defying gravity, you'll never pull me down. So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, is ever gonna bring me
What a Sunday. My goodness. I think Chelsea just blew all the windows out, you know? Well, whoever you are and wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here with us this morning. I'm Reverend Alex Jensen. I'm the senior minister here at UUCGT. I use he and him pronouns. And welcome to this service as we delve into the world of Wicked, both the musical and the book, as we also brace ourselves for this upcoming election this Tuesday. I'd like to, again, add on to the many welcomes here to especially welcome you, Mr. Fred, and your husband, Bill, who are with us, and all of you joining us here. I hope that this serves as the best way we can show our love and solidarity with you in this time of incredible heartbreak for so many. So this church stands with you, just know that. As we settle into this time, I invite you to hear these opening words. Welcome you who are brokenhearted and weary to this place, this community where you might find refuge in the storm. Welcome to this place where your doubts are invited and your questions nourished, where though the path is winding and at times rough, you travel it not alone. Welcome to this place where as fellow sojourners on life's journey, we endeavor to live fully into love at our best, and at our worst, hold each other close. Though you may have lost your spiritual home, though your heart has been broken 1,000 times over, though you yearn for a greater justice and thirst for a deeper love, though your trust has been betrayed and your faith in the church wounded, come, yet again, come. All of you is welcome here. Together, may we endeavor to make love known and fully present in this church, in our wider community, and in all places on this earth. In this spirit, I invite you to come and join me. Come, let us worship together this morning.
Join me in reading our mission statement, which is printed on the back of your order of service, as Reverend Alex lights our flaming chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism and our core belief in the inherent worth and dignity of each and every person. Grounded in love, we protect the web of life by building beloved community, making good trouble, embodying radical love, engaging in lifelong learning. And now, as we enter this sacred time together, set apart from our busy and full lives, let us allow the reverberations of the singing bowls into the cells of our own body, restoring the balance and harmony of our bodies, minds, and spirits.
Now, if you'd please rise in body or in spirit as we join in singing our opening hymn, number 1012. This will be in your teal hymnals, those of you that are new to us. When I Am Frightened. The lyrics will also be up here on the screen as Anne-Marie and Fred lead us.
I'd like to invite our vocal ensemble and our visiting choristers to join us in leading When I Am Frightened, hymn number 1012.
Hey, good morning. If any of my young friends, or if there are any new young friends, if you'd like to come up to the carpet, got a little story for us this morning. Hi, hello. How are we this morning? That's okay. I'm happy to see you all. Hello. For those of you who are new, hello, my name is Chelsea. I am the Director of Religious Education here at UUCGT, and so I run the Sunday school program and all of our family programming. So this morning, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in our world, isn't there? It's a crazy time to be alive. It's a crazy time to be a young person. We're handing this big, crazy world over to you someday. How do you feel about that? I feel great about it because I know all of you, so like, you're gonna do great. So, this is kind of for you guys, but it's mostly for the grown-ups this morning because I think they might be a little nervous. Is that okay? Is it okay if our time for all ages is mostly for the grown-ups this morning? Cool, just making sure. So this morning, I have a pep talk from Kid President. Have you guys ever seen Kid President's videos? He's funny. He does all kinds of fun videos, and he just makes sure that people are being awesome. That's what this book is called. It's called Kid President's Guide to Being Awesome. You don't really need help with that because you're already awesome. But I don't know, maybe the grown-ups need to be a little more awesome today. So, a pep talk from Kid President to you. I think we all need a pep talk. The world needs you to stop being boring. Yeah, you. Boring is easy. Everybody can be boring, but you're gooder than that. Life is not a game, people. Life isn't a cereal either. Well, it is a cereal. And if life is a game, are we on the same team? I mean, really, right? I'm on your team. Be on my team. This is life, people. You got air coming through your nose. You've got a heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. A poem. 2 roads diverged in the woods, and I took the road less traveled. And it hurt, man. Really bad. Rocks, thorns, and glass. My pants broke. Why? Not cool, Robert Frost. But what if there really were 2 paths? I would want to be on the one that leads to awesome. Just like that dude Journey said, don't stop believing unless your dream is stupid. Then you should get a better dream. I think that's how it goes. Get a better dream, then keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. What if Michael Jordan had quit? Do any of you even know who Michael Jordan is? Yeah. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I was like, how? I don't know if this book is too old. Space Jam! Yes, okay. Well, he did quit. No, he retired. Yeah, that's right, he retired. But before that, in high school, what if he quit when he didn't make the team? So he was a basketball player before he was in Space Jam. But he never would have made Space Jam, and I love Space Jam. What will be your Space Jam? What will you create that will make the world awesome? Nothing if you keep sitting there. That's why I'm talking to you today. This is your time. This is my time. This is our time. We can make every day better for each other. But if we're all on the same team, let's start acting like it. We've got work to do. We can cry about it or we can dance about it. We were made to be awesome. Let's get out there. I don't know everything. I'm just a kid. But I do know this. It's everybody's duty to give the world a reason to dance. So get to it. You've just been pep talked. Create something that will make the world awesome. Play ball. All right. So in addition to all of this pep talking, we have some very important directions on how to give different high fives, because I feel like this is a week that we need high fives. So I need everybody to find a buddy. Kids, grown-ups, everybody find a buddy. Let's see. Elliot, can you be my buddy? All right. So we have the traditional high five. Elliot, can you just give me a regular high five? Standard high five. High five. High five. High five. All right. Find a new buddy. Turn to a new buddy. And now we're going to do a low five. You. All right. Low five. Low five. All right. This is a good one. I feel like a lot of us learned this during COVID because we didn't want to, touch hands, touch palms. The fist bump. Give somebody new a fist bump. Fist bump. Fist bump. Fist bump. Yeah. All right, this one's really silly. So now you have to kind of coordinate with your partner. Who's going to be partner A and who's going to be partner B? Partner A, you're doing a fist bump. Partner B, you're doing a high five. This is called the turkey. The turkey. Okay, now switch. The turkey. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. All right, now this one we might have to stand up for. All right, we got to stand up and we got to do the long jump. Wow! Long jump. Woo! Maybe somebody that's taller than you. All right, so this one's a little hug. You got to give your high five. You got to hold it, and then your thumb wraps around and you give a little hug, a hand hug. the next one is for when your friend on the phone is nervous. You give your phone a high five, and it's called a virtual high five. So virtual high five to our friends that are watching at home. Everybody's high five to the camera, virtual high five to our friends that are watching at home. And finally, my favorite dinosaur, the velociraptor. They have really short arms, so you gotta do a velociraptor high five. All right, make sure you give somebody a high five this week. Maybe a velociraptor high five to make them laugh. All right. Now, for those of us who are joining us this morning, we've started this new tradition of a new children's song where we all get to sing together before we head to our class. We are changing the words up again a little bit this week. So this week, instead of being children of the orchards and the fields in our second verse, we are going to be children of tomorrow. We are children of our dreams. We are planners and builders in this web of life. And the future that we weave reaches out beyond the stars and deep within the center of our being. So we'll be children of the stars, children of the earth first, and then it's children of tomorrow and children of our dreams. Are we ready? All right, let's sing it. We are children of the stars, we are children of the earth, we are spinners and weavers in this web of life, and the joy that we weave reaches out beyond the stars and deep within the center of our being. We are children of tomorrow, we are children of our dreams. We are planners and builders in this web of life, and the future that we weave reaches out beyond the stars and deep within the center of our being. Thank you, friends. All right, are we ready?
I got so caught up, I forgot that I was up next. Now is the time for our offering, when you so generously give to support the congregation and community needs in our area where scarcity exists in the midst of plenty. Please note the two sides of the baskets being passed. They are labeled congregation and community needs. Place your donations as you wish. If you are watching at home, you may give as described in the slide. Mail a check, visit the UUCGT website, download the Vanco Mobile Faith Engagement app, or pre-arrange with your bank for a monthly transfer into the UUCGT account. However you give, you may always designate your gift as you choose for the congregations or for community needs. Let us enjoy our meditation music during the collection of the offering performed by Mr. Shabansky.
is our, excuse me, it is our practice as a religious community to set aside time in our service to name the honors and the joys and the concerns that mark our lives, the milestones and moments of our lived experience. I will be sharing the joys and concerns that have been offered up for us to hold at our hearts today. If you have a joy or concern that's a bit too heavy to share with us, then remember that you've got the congregational care. And I happen to be wearing the sash, but I know we have some other people in the audience. Could you raise your hand that are with? Okay, there's Margaret, and I can't see an Ann. Anyway, and there's another, right? Oh, now I know you're hid by a head. It's Connie. Hi, Connie. Anyway, it's a really nice group, and I think you'd really like to be a part of the team, and we'd love to have some new faces. If you'd like to keep your, I was saying that if you want to keep your joy and concern private, you could light a candle at any time, and you'll see there are candles that have been lit. And those are just things that you don't want to really share with the whole community. But remember that you are held in our hearts in the love of this community, because none of us is meant to travel the journey alone. And now this is what has been shared. First from Emmy Lou Challup. A concern. Here is hoping and praying for a peaceful, fair as possible settlement to the continuous wars and horrors taking place in Palestine, Israel, and Lebanon. We pray for a lasting ceasefire and no expansion of the hatred. And here's one from Susan Smith. And she wants a candle lit, and she did light one for Fred and his friends from St. Francis. We are happy to have them with us, and we will hold them in our hearts. It's a joy to have my son Darren with us today. Where's Darren? Oh, there he is. Okay. And she said, it's a joy to have my son Darren with us today. He's visiting from Grand Rapids, from Beth Strawbridge. Please, another one from Holly Nibs. Please consider making a donation to Lambda Legal. Holly, what is that word? Legal, okay. In honor of Mr. Fred, and have them send the notification to St. Francis, like I did, Holly Nibs. Holly, in case they want to ask you or talk to you more, could you stand up for a moment so they know who you are? You don't have to do that with everyone. Yeah. Here's one in gratitude that granddaughter Sophia has recovered from a serious concussion suffered on the basketball court. That's from Margaret and Doug Wozniak. And I think that's all for today, but I think that Reverend Alex is going to have you have a little silence so that you could be thinking either of someone yourself or consider the people that I read.
Will you join me in a spirit of prayer? Loving God, Spirit of life, source of love within and around us, we give thanks for our right to vote, for democracy, which remains a central value to our faith, and what we know as a central value for this country, if we can keep it. We know that the outcome of this election will affect our lives, especially those of us who find ourselves afraid, those of us from marginalized backgrounds and identities. We pray for healing for the divisions among us, patience as we wait our turn to vote, and calm as we await the results of this upcoming election. Give us wisdom to choose the values that protect those who are the most vulnerable among us: the hungry, the unhoused, queer and trans folks, those who are Black, Indigenous, people of color, all those who are fearful for their lives and what the outcome of this election might bring. May we unite around the common good beyond any particular party or candidate. May we unite for the justice and love that this world so sorely needs. May the love in our hearts sustain us as we enter this coming week. Amen. Will you join me in singing our song of response, Spirit of Life?
The vocal ensemble has been learning American Sign Language with this song. I enjoy being able to share sign language with all of you. If you happen to know this song in sign language, please join. Otherwise, you can watch, and we will be continuing to share links in our newsletter called The Flash, showing videos of how to sign the song if you would like to learn it. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me. Come to me.
Our reading this morning is by African-American poet Langston Hughes, entitled Let America Be America Again, written in 1935 during the Great Depression. It was first published in Esquire magazine in 1936. The poems reflect the struggles of marginalized people and critiques the unfulfilled promise of the American dream for many, particularly Black Americans, immigrants, and the working class. The poem has been condensed while maintaining its impactful message. Please excuse dated language that has been preserved to convey the authentic voice of the author. Hughes wrote, "Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great, strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. For all the dreams we've dreamed, and all the songs we've sung, and all the hopes we've held, and all the flags we've hung, the millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet must be the land where every man is free. The land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain, must bring back our mighty dream again. Oh, yes, I say it plain, America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America will be.
How many of you have already seen the musical Wicked? Raise your hands. Well, good. I'm talking to a number of you that'll know what I'm talking about. And don't worry if you haven't seen it yet. There will probably be chances coming soon. I only actually just saw the musical Wicked for the first time with my husband, Connor, this past May when Broadway came to Grand Rapids. And those of you who know us clergy also know that we keep a running list of possible sermon topics as we're going about our lives. And I personally keep a running list on my phone just for this reason, so that when I'm out and about and a topic strikes me as something really good for a sermon, I can whip my phone out and try to capture it and write it down. And so seeing Wicked was one of those moments when a sermon just completely and immediately came to me that I just had to write it down. Trying my best also to not be rude in the middle of a musical, pulling out my phone. What can you do, The music, characters, and themes in the musical all point to certain dynamics at play, not just in the society of Oz, but also in our society today. With the new Wicked movie coming out November 22nd, the Friday before Thanksgiving, they couldn't have picked a better time for its release. How many of you are actually planning on seeing it? Well, I think all of you should be planning on seeing it. It's looking to be a pretty fantastic movie featuring Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba, the so-called Wicked Witch of the West, and also Ariana Grande as Glinda, who eventually becomes Glinda, the Good Witch. For those of you not yet familiar with the story, Wicked reimagines the Wizard of Oz by telling a story from Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, through her eyes. In this story, she is misunderstood, struggles with discrimination because of her green skin, and she opposes the growing power of a corrupt wizard who oppresses the people of Oz. Rather than the villain, Elphaba is actually the hero who challenges the powers and structures that be, and even defies the growing fascism of her society, until she is expelled and labeled a bad and wicked person. I won't tell you too much more, so that I don't spoil it. But I do think this is a very different telling of the Oz story. To me, it seems that the movie's release might be a powerful story for us, knowing that Election Day is only 2 days away this Tuesday. Whatever is decided in this election will likely take a while to reach us until we know the full results. This election itself will be one of the most important, if not the most consequential election in our nation's history. It will be a historic election from a couple of angles. A moment of making history in our country with the first ever woman, Asian American woman, and Black woman to become president of the United States. I can just hear all those glass ceilings shattering. It is also a historic moment for us to collectively choose which path we wish to travel down for the future of this country. I want to be clear that as your minister, I make no partisan endorsement either way. I have my own personal views as a private citizen that I'll leave you to imagine. You can probably guess where I'm leaning. The role of this sermon is not to tell you what candidate to vote for or even what to think. However, as a minister, I do have an obligation to preach the truth as I see it. I may be a newer minister, but my understanding is that I have a duty to call out evil when I see it. And friends, I see great evil at work, not that particular people are evil based on the choice of candidate or party. I want you to hear me clearly here. The evil that we're seeing is out of the bounds of any particular party, either Democrat or Republican. While I won't tell you what to think, I hope to give you ways of how to think about this upcoming election and where it is that your ultimate values lie. Friends, I must be candid with you that I am concerned for the soul of this nation. What I see is our nation these days, what I see in this nation these days is a growing divisiveness that seems increasingly hard to overcome. There are divisions between neighbors where we are in some ways now more divided than ever. We see divisions not just in the candidates we support or the party we most align with, but also with what we hold to be true, with what we know to be real, and what we affirm as fact. What starting point do you have with your neighbors if you don't have these three things? More than that, we seem unable to connect with our neighbors, those who think and vote differently than we do. This isn't to say that there haven't been moments like this in our nation's history before, where we've been greatly divided, but I do believe we're now at a time where we haven't quite been so isolated before. In this time of social media and the echo chamber age, we are increasingly divided over who we're connected with and who we interact with, who we listen to, read, all those things. And any of us can go anywhere we'd like for our news and even find things on the internet that are not always truthful or even based in fact. So yes, in my opinion, we are divided now more than ever in this social media age, something that prior generations have never had to reckon with. I believe Wicked has something to tell us about this important and defining moment in our nation's history. Beyond the movie, this fall, and even the musical, there are some challenging themes that are present also in the book. Now, how many of you have read the book? All right, I've got a familiar audience a little bit. The book, which the musical and movie are based on, is titled Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. What I hope is that you'll see some parallels that I'll highlight from the book, and that you'll see even more clearly just what is at stake in this election. So let's dive right in, and I'll try not to spoil too much of it so that you can all still go out and see that movie, November 22nd. Fascism is not a term to be used lightly. Those of you who remember my sermon on fascism just under a year ago might remember how we explored the series of My Little Pony and fascist tactics that were at play in the ponies' society. I bet you didn't think My Little Pony had much to teach you on fascism. Trading out individuality for conformity, seeing what makes us different as a reason for division, portraying differences as something to fear. In that sermon, we looked at Professor Jason Stanley's 10 Tactics of Fascism, a professor from Yale who studies fascist movements and has distilled their tactics down into 10 particular things. And just to offer a refresher, I'll be reading some of these, and I've put them up here on the screen for you to follow along with. So these tactics are a mythic past, the use of propaganda, a discouragement of critical thinking, the formation of an unreality, the use of hierarchy, that there are some people better than others, a victim mentality, the dominant group seeing themselves as the victims of equality, law and order as agents in oppression. 8, fear of sexual minorities and that women and children in the family unit are under attack. Number 9, the urban and rural divide, that those in the city and those in the country lead very different lives. And lastly, number 10, free labor from minority groups for their betterment and moral development. Work camps, places of forced labor. Such frightening and scary things that we have seen before. So keep these 10 tactics in mind as we talk about themes from the Wicked story. The first theme I'd like to highlight from the book is the theme of propaganda and how it targets those who are oppressed. In the book, the oppression of talking animals serves as an allegory for racism, ableism, trans and queer phobia, and the dehumanization of marginalized groups under fascist regimes. As the wizard rises to power, the talking animals are stripped of their rights and treated as lesser beings. They are forced into menial labor and silenced. This is showcased in the character of Dr. Dillamond, a goat professor who faces prejudice because of his status as a talking animal. The animals in this case are the scapegoats of society. Did you notice about hearing goat in there? A goat professor, scapegoat. They are cast as lesser than, and that they are even a threat to society and those who are in power. Propaganda, in this case, is used tactically to paint the animals as a merciless threat, that they are a threat to everyone's livelihood and existence. And in our society today, it's not talking animals that are deemed as lesser than or a threat to society. Instead, it's immigrants and refugees depicted as lawless criminals who are endangering US citizens. It is queer and trans folks, especially trans folks in this time, who have been labeled as threats to traditional family values or even the safety of women and children. It is religious minorities like Muslims and Jews who are persistently targeted by anti-Semitic and Islamophobic rhetoric. It's racial and ethnic minorities, how Black, Indigenous groups, and other people of color are seen as threats to the social order and a lawful society. Are you starting to see some parallels here? Are you with me? Yes. Propaganda targets each of these groups, making them the other and fundamentally opposed to the nation and its success. So warning one from Wicked is to watch who is being made into an other. The second theme from the book is the erasure of history and the control of information. The wizard's regime in Wicked actively rewrites history to suit its needs and erases the truth of the wizard's mysterious origins. The regime censors what news is available to the citizens of Oz, hiding the wizard's growing power while simultaneously glorifying his rule. In this case, the wizard is in the business of suppressing and revising history in order to maintain power. And it's not until much later in the story when Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, finally uncovers the truth about the wizard's origins and the many lies he's told about the official history of their society. Again, we can draw parallels to our times today, attempts at writing out or even rewriting history, like sanitizing the legacies of racism, racial segregation, and chattel slavery, anything that contradicts the original founding mythic past. Opting not to include the uncomfortable parts in history textbooks for students, rather than empowering them with this history so that we never repeat it. We're also seeing growing attempts at erasing certain topics from school classrooms, like queer and trans issues, creating environments where even saying the words gay, queer, or trans might put a teacher in jeopardy. What's even more disturbing is a growing movement out there of people who deny and minimize historic atrocities, like the Holocaust or the transatlantic slave trade. There are growing numbers out there who deny that these things ever happened, something that should concern every one of us in this room. The important thing to notice is how controlling information is a big part of maintaining the lies of the mythic past. So Wicked, then, might be a solemn warning to us with what happens when a particular personality or movement starts to deny what is true or real and attempts to preserve what has been. That's warning number 2. The last theme I'd like to explore is the growing consolidation of power by the wizard, putting him in total control. Arriving seemingly out of the blue, the wizard slowly and gradually erodes the checks and balances of Oz's society until he becomes their ruler without even their consent. In the story, this is showcased in the wizard's enlistment of Madame Morrible as an agent in his regime. Madame Morrible is the head of the Magical University, a very powerful institution in Oz. Pretty soon, the Society of Oz falls in line with the wizard who has now become its autocrat. And even here, you can see some grim parallels to just what is going on right now in our country as we brace ourselves for this upcoming election. First and foremost, notice the attacks on our institutions and the checks and balances that we've so long taken for granted. In a recent Supreme Court case, the Supreme Court, 3 members appointed by a particular candidate, ruled that presidents can now enjoy broad immunity for official acts. What we might watch for is a president's accountability to the rule of law and how we determine what are official acts. Notice also some of the troubling statements that have been made by a particular candidate, statements that are not just troubling and dangerous, but are fundamentally out of step with this country's values, using the Department of Justice to punish those who are against him, deploying the military against US citizens who are, quote, destroying our country, saying things like withholding disaster relief and aid from certain states based on how their electoral votes will swing in the coming week. Does any of that give you pause? Amen. Well, it should. Wicked is giving us a third warning about what happens when a ruler's power goes unchecked and when certain things are eroded to allow for their total control. So where does all of this leave us? This election is not just a moment for great concern, but also for great hope. In this tension, I hear the words of Langston Hughes's, "Let America be America again," the dream it used to be where neither kings connive nor tyrants scheme. This election, we have the chance to let America be America again, but even better, knowing that for many in this country, America has never lived up to all of its promises. It is of vital importance that you go out and vote. And as you do so, ask yourself what your vote is in service of. Is your vote a vote for the wealthy, for those who maintain the status quo, for the privileged class in society? Or is yours a vote for those at the margins, for those who are the most vulnerable or at risk in these times? Are you casting your vote for your own self-interests or for those who are counted as the least of these? Those of our Catholic friends who are with us today might know these words spoken by Pope Francis. A person who thinks only about building walls wherever they may be and not building bridges is not Christian. This is not the gospel. We UUs look to all of the world's traditions, so beyond even Jewish and Christian teachings, think about how your vote aligns with our 7 core UU values. What does a vote for justice, for equity, for transformation look like? A vote for pluralism, for interdependence and generosity in our society and world. But most importantly, what does a vote for love look like in our world now? No matter the outcome of this election, our work is only beginning. We will need every hand and heart if we're going to restore faith in this country and our ability to grow together rather than apart, our ability to defy gravity in this trying time. Now you know what's at stake. So go out and vote. Go and try defying gravity and cast your vote for love. They'll never bring us down. Amen. Would you join me in a moment of stillness together? Would you rise now in body or in spirit as we join in singing our closing hymn, number 169, We Shall Overcome, in your gray hymnals. The lyrics will also be on the screen.
And I'd like to invite our members of the vocal ensemble and our fellow choristers visiting to join us in the front in helping to lead.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
We'll walk hand in hand.
We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday.
We shall all be free. We shall live in peace.
Shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall live in peace someday.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
Well, Alex releases the flame, Reverend Alex, excuse me, releases the flame. I will share a piece written by Howard Zinn. I shared this about a month ago, but it remains so appropriate as he speaks of hopefulness in bad times. He writes, "To be hopeful in bad times is not foolishly romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, kindness. If we remember those times, and there are so many where people have behaved magnificently, this gives us the energy to act and at least the possibility of sending this spinning top of a world in a new direction. And if we do act in however small a way, we don't have to wait for some grand utopian future. The future is an infinite succession of the present. And to live now as we think human beings should live, in defiance of all that is bad around us, is itself a marvelous victory. And in Adam Slate's words, this is how we keep the chalice burning until we are together again to light it anew. Thank you.
We've come to your favorite time in the service each week with the great litany of announcements. Kidding, I'll keep it brief. I know we're going over quite a bit. Join us for Starting Point after the service, our kind of new to UU thing for both folks that are returning or those that are brand new to us. We'll be here in the sanctuary. You might have seen that there's a new version of the Flash that is launched, and I'm a little disappointed because we've only gotten 5 responses to our poll question on what has been better, either coffee or tea. So, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the Flash, it's not only a wonderfully new and improved version of it, our weekly e-newsletter, but you'll also find the weekly vibe, which is a new section where, we'll be asking a fun question. So, talk to us and let us know what your thoughts are. And if you have a question, too, that you'd like to submit, do let us know. Also, a reminder that our Day of the Dead altar is right out there in the social hall. If you have a photo or a memento from a loved one, we'd ask you to collect that, as we'll be starting to kind of take that down in coming days. A note also that Social Justice Action invites you to the social justice table in the social hall for writing messages of love and welcome to all of our many new friends here. So go join and share the love. And Rick Walter is also taking sign-ups for the turkeys for the Harvest Gathering coming up on November 24th. So please see him. Also, you can make sure to give him your fees for registering for the Harvest Gathering. Rick is right back there in the corner there. So if you're interested in coming for that special service that we have every year, make sure you go see him. And now I'll invite you to rise and to either join hands with your neighbor or to outstretch a hand. This is our symbol of please do not touch me. We welcome everyone here. We know that there are different comforts with being touched. So if you're kind of in one of these moods, that's just fine. Those of you that are online are also welcome to outstretch your hands too and join us in this room. And in the spirit of covenant, community, and commitment, in the spirit of love that abides in each of our hearts, may we be made ready to serve one another and create the world and country that we dream of. Go out and vote. Amen.